Plenty of flies, little water flies. A nod's as good as a wink to a blind man. So my thoughts at the moment are, in terms of equipment, I do a lot of hiking at the moment because I've been unable to get into the cities to shoot urban photos. Yeah, because of this excess hiking I've been doing, and the past year it's changed some of my photography activities. Hopefully I'll be able to get back into the cities at some point because, you know, I love to shoot urban environments. But I was thinking I could work with a tripod. I use these little tripods to carry around in my rucksack, but I was thinking about, they're good for shooting from ground level, but I like being able to stick my camera on a tripod, you know, at higher levels, and have that opportunity to put the camera at higher levels, even when there's no opportunities to do it, you know, if there's no fences or whatever around. So it got me thinking about the Peak Design tripod, and I know it's expensive, but I really like the idea that you can compact it right down and sort of put it in the side pocket of my rucksack, because it's not that much bigger than a flask that carries coffee. Doesn't seem to be that heavy, so that could be something I'm going to invest in the coming weeks. I've got 2 other tripods that I use that are just far too heavy to carry around. They're good for like indoor environments or studio. They work brilliant, but I just can't carry that kind of weight anymore. I mean, at some point you have to start thinking about your back, especially your lower back. And it wasn't that long ago that I was out and about with a Nikon D4, shooting all day, walking around with that around your neck, and it starts to take its toll on your back. So I'm so embracing these new type of cameras, these small cameras. I mean, I've always had a compact camera, which are great. I love compacts. I'm still using my Nikon Coolpix A for street photography, and that's as light as a feather, but it's a great camera. I've got my Olympus Pen F, which is, again, it's pocket size. That's a bit heavier, but it's got interchangeable lenses. But I can carry that all day in a pocket, which is great. And the Sony ZV-1, another brilliant camera. I love that. That's great. It's so compact, small, and it's very versatile. Does a lot of very good video features, and for the price and the weight and the size is great value for money. So in the last few years, my kit is, in terms of the size of the gear, the camera, I love small cameras. I think they're brilliant, perfectly good enough for what you need. I mean, like the Nikon Coolpix A, I could knock up a print. I mean, that camera, I got it in 2013, but I can get a really decent print out of that. 20 by 16, you know, if you want to go that big, I wouldn't say it will go any bigger than that. You probably could, but you know, the sizes I like to work with are, I kind of like 12 by 9. That's a really good size to knock out a print, and the quality is just, it's good enough. It's so good. And for other things like website and social media, I mean, what do you want? I don't see the point of, unless you're knocking up huge, enormous prints, why be getting a huge DSLR or huge mirrorless camera? You know, they're knocking out all these pixels, 100 megapixel Fuji. I mean, it's all well and good if you're going to have a huge print, like if you're shooting for an exhibition or something, or for a client, for an advertising board. Definitely, it's well worth, you know, the payment. But for your average Joe in the street, I mean, oh, it's so lovely being out here. Just look around, there's nobody here, it's just me. How good is that for your mind? Wonderful. And we're still only in April. So yeah, the peak design really does stimulate my interest. I'm sure I could carry that thing around all day, no problem. And I'm willing to pay the money for what it gives you, because there's many a time when I've been out and about and I've been desperate for a tripod, especially if you work alone a lot and you're looking to make videos or time lapse, or you know, all the things where you're on your own and you ain't got no extra hands to help you. I think a tripod's invaluable. It's all well and good, these small ones. I mean, I do get some good use out of them, but they're very limited in what they can do. If you're working at ground level all the time, that's brilliant, but I'm finding that I just want stuff at head height a lot of the time. Just plonk my camera on a tripod and that frees my hands up to you know, do other things, to be a bit more experimental. I don't like working with my hands tied, it's a bit limiting, and that's what's happening with these small tripods. So hopefully in the coming weeks I'm going to have a peak design tripod, and I know it's 18 months or 2 years after they first came out, but it doesn't matter. It's something that will definitely help with my content creating